You think you're in control, that your choices are yours, your opinions truly your own. But what if I told you some of your decisions were never really yours to begin with? Not because someone shouted at you, not because you were forced, but because someone whispered the right words, at the right moment, planted the right doubt, gave the right praise until your yes came out before you knew what you were agreeing to. Don't need to scream to control you. They just need to know how your mind bends under pressure, how your guilt outweighs your instincts, how your kindness is your favorite trap. This video is not about manipulation in theory. It's about the 5 exact tactics used by people around you, partners, bosses, friends, even strangers, to make you say yes when you want to say no, to make you stay when you should have walked away. Watch until the end, because once you see these 5 patterns, you'll start noticing them everywhere. And once you do, you can never unsee them. They say manipulation is a game, but for some, it's a survival skill. And for others, it's a weapon. It wears a smile. It asks softly. It sounds like care until you're cornered. 1. The guilt anchor. I just thought you were different. That's how it begins. Soft, almost loving. You didn't do what they wanted, so now you're being measured not by your actions, but by how much you hurt them by saying no. You feel the invisible leash tighten. You start apologizing for choosing yourself. In modern psychology, this is emotional blackmail. In spiritual terms, it's an energy theft. They drain your life force by making their disappointment your responsibility. A friend cancels a dinner and suddenly you're silent for days. They ask why. You say you're fine. But deep down, you're punishing them. Not because they wronged you, because they stepped outside the role you cast them in. 2. The confusion fog. They over-explain, they twist, they make you feel like you just don't get it. They're just being honest, but somehow you always leave the conversation feeling small. You try to recall what was said, but it slips away, replaced by doubt in your own memory, your own clarity. It's not a debate, it's gaslighting. Subtle, relentless, deeply disorienting. In the language of spirit, this is a dismantling of your inner compass. When repeated, it weakens the bridge between your gut and your voice. And without that bridge, you obey. Ever had someone say, "That's not what I meant," even though you're sure you heard it right? That's not miscommunication. That's deliberate distortion. 3. The silent transaction. They do something nice. Then they wait. You didn't ask for help, but now you're indebted. You feel it, the pressure to return the favor, even if it costs you. Because saying no now would make you the ungrateful one. This is the kindness trap. In modern terms, it's covert contracting, a favor given not out of love, but as a down payment for future control. It's the coworker who stays late just once, then expects you to cover for them every Friday. It's the partner who buys gifts during fights, then calls you selfish when you don't move on as fast as they do. In spiritual psychology, this is karmic entrapment, binding people to you through unspoken emotional debt. 4. The mirror mask. They agree with everything you say. They love what you love. They hate what you hate. You think you found your twin flame, your soulmate, your perfect fit. But slowly you start noticing they never truly reveal themselves. They were never real. They were a mirror. This is not connection. It's mimicry. It's the seduction of identity, shaped only to be accepted. And the moment you change, grow, resist, evolve, the mask breaks and resentment replaces adoration. It's a manipulation built on performance. They were studying you to become someone you couldn't leave. 5. The crisis loop. There's always an emergency, always a drama. They need you now. You're their only lifeline. And just when you step back, something else explodes. You try to set boundaries, but guilt pulls you back in. You're not helping. You're being baited. This is dependency disguised as chaos. In psychology, it's called trauma bonding. In spiritual work, it's a loop of karmic cycles where the soul is trapped in emotional repetition and you become the other half of their chaos. You cancel plans, you lose sleep, you sacrifice your peace for someone who never finds theirs. And here's the part no one tells you. These manipulators often don't know they're manipulating. They just learned long ago that control felt safer than being abandoned. But if you keep playing their game, you're not just a victim. You're a participant in your own depletion. Seeing these patterns is not enough. You have to believe your discomfort. You have to trust the whisper that says, this feels wrong, even when the words sound right, even when the smile is warm. Because in the end, real love doesn't confuse, guilt, or control. It frees, it respects, it leaves your soul lighter, not heavier. We live in a world where manipulation doesn't come with warning signs. It comes wrapped in charm, in politeness, in I was just trying to help. And so often we confuse being kind with being compliant. But there is a quiet kind of strength, the kind that doesn't shout or fight, but simply does not move when pressured. It's not about building walls. It's about knowing where your skin ends and where the world begins. It's about drawing lines not out of fear, but out of love. Love for your own clarity, your own peace. Some people will call your boundaries selfish. Let them. Some will say you've changed. You have. To see manipulation is to reclaim a part of yourself that was slowly handed away in pieces. Every time you said yes with a shaking voice. Every time you smiled while your stomach turned. Psychologically, this is individuation. Spiritually, it's soul retrieval. You are calling back the fragments of yourself that were scattered across guilt, shame, and obligation. Healing doesn't always look like light and peace. Sometimes it looks like silence after you say no. Sometimes it feels like loneliness when you walk away. But that loneliness, it's the space where your real self begins to echo again. If anything in this video stirred something in you, if a memory surfaced, if a face came to mind, or if a quiet truth you've been avoiding finally stood up, don't let it pass unnoticed. Leave a comment. Name the moment you saw clearly, or just say, I see it now. And if you know someone still caught in the fog, share this with them. And if you feel a little stronger after watching, hit like. Not for me, for the version of you that finally said, enough.